What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another transfer update video. Not in the usual surroundings of the office today. I'm on holiday over here in America. Little break, rest and recharge with the family, and get ready for the big season coming up ahead. But big up to everyone locked in. To be honest, I'm sweating more on the fact that Arsenal haven't signed anyone yet or sold anyone, and it's nearly the end of June. And still haven't done a deal yet. Maybe Edu's on holiday as well, enjoying a barbecue. So yeah, we'll see. But listen, let's talk transfers, people, and let's talk about Arsenal being linked today with a move for Eze from Crystal Palace. Now, we all know about him. We've all seen him play. I said many times on this video, he's one of two attacking midfielders that I feel like got the better of Declan Rice this season when we played against them. One was Eze, the other was Musiala. Now, Musiala, we've seen in the Euros, is just unbelievable, and I think any chance of getting him has disappeared. Looks as if he'll stay at Bayern now that Thomas Tuchel has left. But Eze, boyhood Arsenal fan, got released by Arsenal in the academy days, and it's believed there's a £60 million release clause. Now, I know a lot of people might think attacking midfielder is not a high priority position for Arsenal. I actually think it is, because Fabio Vieira's not been good enough. Smith Rowe's being linked with a potential move. So really, we're relying purely on Odegaard in that attacking midfield role. Havertz didn't work in that position. And I think Eze is very different to Odegaard. He's more of a dribbler, a lot more strong, dynamic. Odegaard, I would say, is more of a creative player, a passer. Sweet left foot. I think Eze would be a brilliant signing for Arsenal. £60 million release clause, I think in the modern game, is fairly good value. When you look at the fact that players like Mudryk cost 88 million and Caicedo cost 115 million. Team News and Tickets, who's usually a pretty good source of information, saying he's had two unconfirmed reports that Arsenal are interested in Eze. We know that Tottenham are interested in him as well. Personally, I would not like to see him go to Tottenham for obvious reasons, and I do think he's a fantastic player. I suppose the question for Arsenal will be, do they class that as a priority position? Fabio Vieira at the moment hasn't been linked with a move anywhere, so maybe they think they're going to give him one more chance in the attacking midfield role. I personally would move him on and would love to see Eze come in. Let me know in the comments, guys. Would you take Eze for 60 million? I think it's a no-brainer. Fantastic player. The way he plays, I think he would offer us something different. Wages wouldn't be a problem. And as I said, boyhood Arsenal fan, he's obviously going to reject Tottenham in favour of a move to Arsenal. So let's see what materialises from that one. Eze, 60 million in this game, I would say, is a bargain. I've said Xavi Simons on loan from PSG would also be good business, but I think Arsenal would probably go for a permanent deal over a potential loan. But who knows? Let me know. Would you take Eze? Another player that we've spoken about before, and he starred in the Euros the other night, was Spanish international winger Nico Williams. Now, we've spoken about him a few times. I've said before, I don't think he's the finished article. But what he is, he's dynamic, he's direct, he's a very good dribbler. And against Italy the other night, I thought he put in a fantastic performance. His ability to get past the fullback is something we desperately lack. I've said many times, Martinelli hasn't quite developed in the way we hoped last season. Obviously, we hope next season will be better. Trossard is more of a ball-to-feet winger, not as quick, more intelligent maybe. Saka is what Saka is. He gets goals, not overly quick, but Nico Williams is absolutely rapid, and it is something that I think we lack in the Arsenal front line. Has a £50 million release clause from Athletic Bilbao, and Fabrizio Romano confirming that Arsenal are one of 3 Premier League clubs that have asked about his circumstances. I mean, the only thing I wonder when I hear those sorts of things, it's a release clause, so they don't need to speak to the club at all. Maybe he means they're talking to the player, weighing up what kind of wages he would want. Would he be interested in a move? Looks as if somebody triggers that release clause, a deal is there to be done. Would you pay £50 million for him? I wasn't sure about him, to be honest. But he is dynamic, and he does offer something that we lack. The fact he can play on the left and the right, I suppose, where would you play him in the Arsenal team if you sign him? I think what you do, I think Arsenal need to create a situation where nobody's guaranteed a start. I want him to come in and put pressure on Saka and put pressure on Martinelli. and they all sort of go to battle. So that would be my thinking. I've said before, you know, there are a lot of wingers available this summer. Would Nico Williams be one that you would go for? Let me know, people. What do you guys think? I'd take him. He wouldn't be at the top of my list, but £50 million is probably what £20 million was 5-6 years ago. It's not even big money nowadays, you know. Like I say, Mudryk cost 88 million. Look what he's done, or what he hasn't done since going to Chelsea. So 50 million would probably represent good business for Nico Williams. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about that. And one player we won't be signing by the look of it is Michael Olise. He was being heavily linked with a move to Chelsea. Fabrizio has announced he's agreed a deal to go to Bayern Munich. Fantastic move for him. Vincent Kompany and Bayern are set to trigger his £60 million release clause. Negotiations are ongoing between the clubs, and apparently he's agreed personal terms to go to Bayern Munich. Fantastic move for him, and apparently chose to go there rather than going to Chelsea. You know, Chelsea are a big club, but there's a lot of uncertainty at Chelsea. New ownership, new manager, no Champions League football. Bayern Munich a lot more stable, and he's chosen to go there. I think it'll be a fantastic move for him. He'll obviously have a lot of competition with Sané, Gnabry, Kingsley Coman. Could Arsenal go to Bayern Munich and go and grab one of their wingers? You know, who knows? But that's something we'll look at maybe later on in the window. A young player set to leave Arsenal is Cozier Dubry. Now, I actually met him and spoke to him on the US tour last year. He was saying how happy he was to be on tour. And once again, a young player rejecting a contract to Arsenal to leave. And again, the story in The Athletic saying Cozier Dubry doesn't see a clear pathway into the first team and has decided to not stay at Arsenal. Now, Chido Obi, the young striker who everyone's been raving about, is in talks about a move to Bayern Munich as well. His agent said something similar. Now, is this something that needs addressing this year? Mikel Arteta has not really promoted the young players that much. Waneri and these players have had minimal game time. You've got to be careful that young players don't start looking at Arsenal as a club that don't give young players game time, because you end up losing a lot of young players, and these guys are going to go for peanuts. We're not getting good money for them. So Cozier Dubry on his way. Listen, we don't know how good he is or how good he's going to become. So, you know, I'm not saying we've lost a superstar, but we've certainly lost a young player with a lot of potential due to the fact that these youngsters now don't feel like there's a clear route into the first team. So Cozier Dubry on his way out of Arsenal. What do you guys think about that? And finally, in terms of transfers, Reiss Nelson, again, being linked today with a move to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace believed to be interested in signing him. They've tried to sign him before. Palace apparently willing to pay £10 million for Reiss Nelson. Arsenal looking for at least 20 million for Reiss Nelson. Listen, he hasn't played a lot of first team football. He's on 100 grand a week, but £10 million is ridiculous. This is a guy that played for England at under 21 level. He's coming from Arsenal. He's 24. He's quick. Arsenal should be getting more money than that for him. Edu needs to do his job properly here and get more money. So £10 million is not enough for me. You see Chelsea selling players out of the youth team for 10, 15 million pounds who you've never heard of. Man City do the same as well. So I would expect Arsenal to be picking up at least 15 to 20 million pounds for a player like Reiss Nelson. But I do think he will move on this summer and go elsewhere. Just to finish the show, people, did you guys see William Saliba last night, man? William Saliba, just to think this guy Deschamps was not going to play him. Said, oh, I don't like certain things that he does when he plays. Well, I don't know, mate, what you don't like, but this guy's one of the best centre-backs in world football. Simple as that. You know, him and Van Dijk last night. Van Dijk has been the best centre-back in the world for the last few years. I think, you know, this is the guy of the future and of the present, to be honest. Another Rolls-Royce performance. Next to Upamecano, I actually thought it would be him and Konate, but Konate apparently was unwell before the first game. He went with Upamecano. They've obviously kept back-to-back clean sheets, so Konate may struggle to get back in the team. But I'm delighted for Saliba on the back of the seasons that he's had at Arsenal, because I didn't want doubt to creep into his mind that, oh, maybe playing for Arsenal is stopping me getting in the French squad and I need to go and play for Real Madrid. It's good for him to know that being at Arsenal, you can progress, you will get big money, you will get opportunities with the French national team. The only thing missing now, of course, is the trophies at Arsenal. And to do that, we need to sign some damn good players this summer. Get moving, Edu. Put the barbecue down for a second. Get the business done. And then we'll come back to it. People, thank you very much for tuning in. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Get in the comments. Obviously, there won't be any watch-alongs or live content for the next few days. I'm heading back into the swimming pool. Take care, everyone. And I'll see you all soon, people. Bless.